stand up and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Reading the minutes. That's fine. We just want the names of people when they
Right, yes, yep, that's not a problem. The special meeting of the Franklin Town Board was called to order at 7:45 p.m. at the Treadwell Firehouse. The main purpose of the meeting was to discuss the proposed contract from Delta Engineers, Architects, and Land Surveyors. Present were Don Smith, David Grant, and Supervisor Jeff Taggart. Absent was Lisa Hike and Garrett Sitz. The minutes from the June 2nd, 2015 meeting were read. Don Smith made a motion to approve the minutes as read. David Grant seconded the motion and all present agreed. Supervisor Jeff Taggart tabled the discussion regarding the proposed contract from Delta Engineers as two board members were absent. David Grant left the meeting at 7:50, and at that point the meeting came to an end due to not having a quorum. Okay.
Good job. Thank you. Any additions or corrections? You guys can't do anything about that, so I guess it'll be done. Is there any additions or corrections?
Well, I think we'll approve them as read. There isn't much to disapprove there.
There's been a motion to approve. Do you have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Oh, Ken, are you here?
No, but I have a report.
Oh, okay. Lisa's gonna give the report for the Treadwell.
The Kellogg Franklin Trust met on June 24th. Checking account balance, $38,677.52. Portfolio balance, $917,403.42. Interest and dividends earned in June, $2,585.04. Ken Walter and Jim Carey met with Matt Sons regarding the portfolio investment. They are very comfortable and satisfied with Matt's attention to the account and Morgan Stanley's performance to date. Under the Roaring Brook abutment repair project, Alan Green has made the bridge pad form. It's waiting for it to stop raining to pour the concrete. We'll then move the bridge in August when we have manpower. When it's in place, they'll complete the walkway, grade, clean, seed, and secure the bridge to the concrete pads. There's going to be some work done on the playground in Treadwell by the Unadilla Boy Scouts. There's athletic storage sheds that are going to be built to go down on the athletic field. The tennis court benches are in place. The polycap fence guard has been delivered. I'm not sure if it's been installed. That was supposed to be a not rainy day project. I don't think it's happened yet. We're not having a meeting in July because most everybody's away, so our next meeting is August 26th in Treadwell. And I had a check for $105. Paul, did you get that somehow?
I did.
That's it.
Have they poured some concrete up there?
I'm not sure.
It almost looked like it was, when I went by today, that it was, or last night maybe it was.
I went by today and it was
Like it was on that list on Case Hill side that looks like they had. So maybe it's going ahead.
Slowly.
Last time, they were at one point talking of having, when they got to 930, unless we haven't gotten to that, where they were gonna put 30,000 in a money market or something, so it's secured.
They did that.
They did that?
They did that.
So there's another 30,000 over what is showing on your figures?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe. I think they put 40,000. 35?
I don't know, 30 was a figure I heard. I don't know if they went over that or not.
No.
Or if it got done or not.
It was either 30, 35, or 40. I don't remember.
Okay.
But that has been put into the money market.
Okay. So it's on top of this.
Mm-hmm.
There's at least 30. Okay, good. Thank you, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess we can probably open the meeting up now. There's no bids or anything, right, Mark?
not tonight.
Not tonight, okay. So we'll open the meeting up. Yes, Gene? Gene Marner.
Thank you, for the chance to address the board. I have 2 points I'd like to make. At the last meeting, I think I brought it to your attention that that the New York State Medical Association and the American Medical Association have both asked that all gas infrastructure projects be subjected to a comprehensive health impact assessment because they're intrinsically dangerous, and both pipelines and compressors. Since then, the Schoharie County Board of Supervisors wrote a letter to the governor asking that the 2 projects that are coming through our counties be subjected to such, and all infrastructure projects be subjected to that. And so I'd like to give you copies of that letter, if I may.
Okay.
And also there's a newspaper article from the Schenectady paper that about the circumstances that led to it. Thank you. The other point I'd like to make is that in Hancock, the assessors were approached to cut assessments, and they cut assessments by up to 50% on houses near the compressor station. So I just wanted to make you aware of that, because the idea that we're going to experience a tax increase is going to be.
How close to the compressor? How many were brought before him?
As far as I know, this is about, I think, 3 houses, but and I don't know how it affects other homeowners and whether they will proceed to demand reduction in their assessment as well, because their resale price is also affected by the presence of the compressor. Thank you for the opportunity to present this information.
Thank you, Gene. Next, yes.
I just wanted to add something. My name is Dennis Higgins. I'm sorry.
Dennis Higgins.
I just wanted to add something to a comment to what Gene had said. A lot of townships go into negotiations with over compressors and pipelines and think they're going to come out ahead because they have high assessments or have made arrangements for payment in lieu of taxes. And in fact, people like Kinder Morgan have more expensive lawyers and more lawyers than you have. And in order to get anything out of them, you will be in court a long time. So, and I didn't bring documentation, but I'm happy to provide documentation because there's lots of cases in court right now of townships trying to get money after they've made arrangements with pipeline companies for taxes or payment in lieu of taxes. So, and I'm happy to provide documentation. As I said, I didn't bring.
I think that's the norm anymore. It's not just pipelines. It's savings and loans. It's banks. It's pharmacies. They're all after the same thing of lowering taxes. There's no doubt. Okay, thank you. Next. Getting awful easy, people. You're next.
Mother Nature, of course, and vacuum. Don Hubbard. I'm going to say the record again. Town of Franklin, we really are all on the same side, folks. The new arrivals, the long-term residents, the second homeowners and full-time residents, farmers and non-farmers, laborers and professionals, students and senior citizens. Franklin has a lot to lose with the industrialization of the area that would be caused by the 2 pipelines, a compressor station, and another high-voltage power line, the proposed Northeast-South 2. Franklin, Delaware County, and a large portion of New York State are mere pawns to these green energy methods. They make billions in profits from the energy that passes through the pipelines and electric wires, and Franklin could get its roads damaged, its air polluted, its trees cut, its drinking water polluted, and a reduction in real estate values. Oh, and we could get a small tax cut after the payment in lieu of taxes deal is arranged, if we can ever collect it. At the June 2015 board meeting, Compressor Free Franklin presented a petition with 531 adult resident signatures and 69 student signatures, passing a resolution of unqualified opposition to compressor station construction in the town of Franklin was one of the actions requested in that petition. Has the town board received any petitions requesting construction of a compressor station?
No.
Okay. So it appears that currently public opinion is running about 600 opposed to 0 in favor. In
Depends on who you talk to.
In the April 2015 board meeting, a resolution was passed conditionally opposing a compressor station until environmental questions had been satisfied. Additional studies and documentation of emissions, a lot of it from even smaller compressor stations than the ones that are here, have been presented to the board, showing that even at the smaller compressor stations, they do not meet their permitted levels of emissions. Is the town of Franklin planning to adopt a resolution unconditionally opposing a compressor station in Franklin?
Not at this time. I don't believe. Ask the board.
Okay.
Ask myself, Donnie, if you want to ask the board, go ahead.
All right. Well, I guess we have asked several times about, passing a resolution in opposition. Is there any discussion or reason why we should not have one? I mean, I
I
have.
think it's, the 6 months.
I'm not in favor of it at this time.
Well, also at the June meeting, I asked the board to consider hiring Delta Engineering to help protect our roads. And I know that you were planning to discuss it at the June 16th meeting.
Right.
Are we still planning to discuss that sometime?
We're still discussing it. What I've also done is the engineering firm we normally have, which is Cedarwood Engineering, through it's not Swazzos anymore, I don't believe. It's their, branch off company or whatever. They have done all of our engineering work up till now, and they're looking at it, and they haven't got back to me on it yet.
They're looking at Delta's proposal?
They're looking at doing what Delta would for us. Instead of
Okay.
hiring locally, which is an engineering firm, which I believe that's what Delta is, and if they could do the same work as Delta has for the same money, I'd rather hire local.
Do they have the same track record and have they represented other towns? Something I've asked.
Not that I know of, no.
Would be something.
But I'm not sure what track record Delta
Delta
has in
does
this
have a
area.
history. I mean, they said they would provide documentation of towns that they've done for them.
Okay.
I think you can privilege the floor.
Thank you. Sir?
Yeah, Rich Comida,
Rich
on
Conlon.
Bissell Road.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for allowing me to
Yep.
speak. I'll pass this out. This is a fairly detailed summary of compressor stations and health impacts done in the state of Pennsylvania. I thought it was very apropos. It goes into the number of toxic chemicals that are spewed into the air and into the ground, and so it would be good reading. I also have just one copy of an interesting article that I'd like you to take a look at. Mr. Smith, I believe, announced, his position on the compressor station. Can we poll the rest of the members of the board just to
Well, it's
understand
undecided on,
the compressor station?
on the compressor station because I want to see some EPA testing of them, see what the test results are from, I've asked for Wellsboro and Hancock. I mean, they're both fairly new compressors. I'm sure the older ones have got more of a track. And to the testing part of it, I called the county health department, and they said, and this is what they said, I didn't say anything. They said there's no, the environmental testing that has been done, the research that's been done, or what do you want to call it, hasn't got a whole lot of basis because there was no research before the compressors came in to say what was the emissions, what was the polluting in the area before emissions, before the compressor, not emissions. And, and that's why I'm waiting, I'm gonna get results from some EPA testing, on these compressor stations, just to see what, the ones that we've gone to. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yep, thank you. Also, the water quality, the backup emergency town spring is up on Bissell Road. Are we going to, or is the board going to test that water prior to any activity in the pipeline, just to make sure that there's no, degradation of that water supply?
That is not a backup water supply for the village. It is the backup water supply for the village, what I understand, is actually the alley out. The springs are not allowed to be used. Treadwell Water System has the same thing. They've got a tremendous spring on the hill. And probably 5 years ago, they were told they couldn't use it. They had to cut off the water supply to the hamlet and drill another well. And that's what I
believe
understand.
Oleot is also going to be the source of water that feeds the compressor station, and then will be dumped back in. So, you know, that's a concern.
If it does test unpolluted or not polluted enough, or, you know, I'm not sure what the standards are. You know, they'll take a water sample of the water that is taken, and the water is gonna actually come from the alley out below the dam, down about halfway between dam and Route 7. That's what I hear. And the water will not just be dumped out of the pipeline, it will be tested before it is. If it hasn't got pollutants, and this is DEC regs, I understand. If it's not polluted enough, it will not just be dumped, it will be trucked off to a treatment center.
And last thing, and then I'll give up the floor. There was an article in one of the local papers which quoted you, Joe Mahoney, I believe his name was.
Could be.
Quoted you as saying that as far as the chemicals and toxins coming out of the compressor station, they have filters for that. In doing some further checking, we found out that the filters take out sand and impurities in the gas coming through. It has nothing to do with filtering anything that goes
Okay,
into
well,
it.
I stand corrected.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'd just like to pass this out.
And, you know, that's where I'm hoping the EPA testing will give us some results on something. Yes.
Shirley Ferguson, thanks for the floor. Just to follow up on something that Don said regarding Delta and the other engineering company
Right.
that you were referring
Right.
to, Jeff, I don't remember the name. Do you have any,
Cedarwood.
okay. Do you have any kind of time frame, endpoint as to when you would like to be able to make that
It
decision?
will definitely be done by the next meeting.
It will be done by the next meeting? Okay, great,
One
thank
way or
you.
the other, whether we go with Delta or if Cedarwood say, you know, they can do it and do a good job. We've had excellent service with them, so I would rather keep it local if we could.
But we don't know whether they have any recommendations
I don't
for
have,
similar
no,
or comparable situations?
I haven't got a hold of Mike to, you know, find out where they stand.
Oh, and if they don't?
Then we'll go with, we'll probably go with Delta,
Okay. All
okay?
right, thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, I believe up in the back.
Thank you for the floor.
Name, please.
My name is Bob Eklund. Thank you for the privilege of the floor. I'd like to make 2 quick points. I applaud your wanting to get figures from 2 new, relatively new structures. However, these compression stations have a lifespan of approximately 30 years. I would suggest that you not only get new readings, but readings from plants that have been in operation for a number of years, because it's been shown that they're much more likely to leak. Okay? And a lot of those figures you can find in the report by Bob Howarth and Tony Ingraffia that addresses emissions and methane migration. Okay? That's the first point. Excuse me. I'm a councilman for the town of New Lisbon, and I appreciate the difficulty that you guys have up there trying to serve the community and keep everybody happy. If I was sitting where you were tonight, I would be somewhat concerned about the level of emissions that will be going in the direction of Chico Elementary School. That's something that will be ongoing for a number of years. But at some point in the future, God forbid, there happens to be a series of health incidents amongst the children there, this town could stand to be exposed for significant legal reparations for their health problems. And I know you guys probably do this, we do it in our town. You're looking forward to years ahead of here, and you want to leave, when you leave here, you want your citizens to say that you've done a fine job protecting the town. I think you need to look at the long-range picture here. It's been proven that they are not safe, and you should really look at that closely. And I would say, the town attorney, not to expose